At this time, I'd like to introduce one of our Assemblymen. Troy, well, I guess it's almost 2 years now he's been in office, and what a trailblazer he has been. I haven't seen very many pieces of legislation come out of Trenton that doesn't have his name on it, and I'm just so very proud of him, not only for his youth, and everybody who knows me getting involved as a young Democrat, I love to see young people succeed, and we definitely have a rising star here in Burlington County, and that's our Assemblyman, Troy Singleton.
My mother-in-law asked me to be brief, and she actually had everyone at her table ask me to be brief, so I'm going to add up all the 1 minute they gave me, and I'm going to try my best to do as can. Tonight's simple question is what I'm all about, is why are we Democrats? Why do we care so much about this party as we're hearing what it's all about? And if anyone knows me and has known me a long time, folks know my love of the party came from my mother. And my mother, who I lost last year, used to talk about why she was a Democrat and why it was important for the Democratic Party to be successful. And she always said to me, she was like, Troy, Democrats, she would say, and I apologize for the scattering of Republicans we may have in the room, but she always said, Democrats support working people. She said, Democrats care for the most vulnerable. And she said, Democrats always give opportunity to those who've lost hope. And I never really understood what that meant as a kid growing up, and even as my young adulthood, I've never really understood it until I've had the honor of serving in the legislature. And I understand what our party is all about. And when I'm sitting here and I heard Senator Bono talk about it, it made me swell up again as if my mother was telling me to me again. We're Democrats because we don't fight for the haves and have-mores. We've always fought for those who sort of circumstance left behind, those who just get up and do their job. Don't ask for any fanfare, don't ask for anything else. Those who do their job. Democrats have always been the party who've championed those interests. And Democrats have always been the party who said, it doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter what your gender, your sexual orientation, none of that should matter. It matters about the content of your ideas and what you believe in. I am as proud today as I was when I was 18 years old to be a Democrat. And I know this party in this county is on the cusp of such a resurgence. When I look at my friends Joanne and I look at Amy, I realize we are right where we are positioned to be to change the fortunes of a whole county to something more important. So when I look at role models who embody the things that my mother talks about, I look at so many people around this room, and it's always troubling when you try and point people out, but I'm going to risk that this evening. When I think of role models that exemplify what our party is about, I think of my dear friend Jack Connors, who I had the awesome responsibility of trying to walk in his shoes. A man who, if there's anyone who exemplifies putting neighbor before self, it is Jack Connors. And I will tell you, the military families, the men and women who so graciously served our country, owe an enormous debt to Jack Connors because some of the groundbreaking things that he did when he was in the legislature to make sure that we never forgot those who put themselves in harm's way for us to live the American dream and have our way of life. Jack, you know I love you, and I'm honored to wear the pen after you, son. Mentors around the room, and a mentor of mine is my running mate. My running mate, since he's been in office, forget his professional life as a doctor, since he's been in office, he has strived to make sure that when it comes to health care policy and making sure everybody has an opportunity to see a doctor, to be well, he's fought that fight. He's fought that fight when it wasn't popular, when we were in the minority, when I used to work for those guys as a staffer. He's fought that fight every day in the majority. And when Senator Bono talked about people who stand up for others, there wasn't a lot of people who stood up in front of the governor and said, Governor, you're wrong, when it said we don't need a health care exchange. When he said it's wrong that people don't have an opportunity to have health care. One person who led the charge. There's a lot of others of us who said you had to do it. But at the pinnacle, at the front of that line who said that was Dr. Herb Conaway, and he's fought every day to make sure that we have that responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about leaders in Trenton and we talk about those who are the kind of people we want representing us, not only am I honored that he's my colleague, I'm honored that I'm one of his bosses as his constituent, because he's cherished my vote just like he's cherished everyone in here and has never taken it for granted. And that's why every time I get a chance to be on the ballot or get a chance to talk in front of people about him and what we strive to do as a team in Trenton, he's the leader of our delegation. He is the leader of our delegation. He's a strong leader who deserves to come back to Trenton. So tell your friends, tell your neighbors, make sure that he goes back to Trenton. Take the young guy with him, but make sure he goes back to Trenton as well, because it's important. And I'm gonna close on this point, because like I said, I could talk all night, but we have a fantastic group of people running on this county level this year. I will tell you, first of all, Amy and Joanne were great last year, and I'm going to tell you a story. I think these three people are just as great that are running this year. They are, I will tell you that as I like to call her, I call her mom, but in actuality, she's the majority maker, because she's going to put the Democrats in the majority. Reva Foster has spent her lifetime supporting Democrats, making sure that we get everything we need to be successful. And I will tell you, from the bottom of my heart, and I'm going to be honest with you all, she's been there every time, every race and every candidate has come through this county. Every time. She didn't ask for a dime. She didn't do anything else. She was the person who mobilized people. We have an opportunity to actually get someone from the vineyard to the castle, and that's what my responsibility to do. We work from the top down or bottom up, it doesn't matter. Reva Foster deserves to be our next freeholder, and I need everyone in this room to be committed to making that happen. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some fantastic candidates, and it doesn't matter what we all say in these speeches and everything else. It matters what you all believe in to get us there. You know, when folks ask us all the time why we're running, I get asked when I go door knocking constantly, he's like, Troy, why are you running? You know, it's a simple thing for me. I'm running because the best part of my job, not getting to pass a bunch of laws, which is fun, and my daughter was up there today in the State House and got to press a bunch of buttons. The best part of my job is when I get a chance to help somebody who thought that government became too much for them. When they look and said, you know what, I don't know how to navigate through this anymore. In my office and my team, whether it's Tyler and it's Charlie and it's John and John squared, I mean, the team, because I used to do that job, and sometimes it's a thankless job, but they believe enough in what we're striving to do that they deserve an opportunity to continue that fine work. I truly believe that. And no matter what we do, no matter on what level we get to, for me, it's always been back to what my mom taught me. It's about being a Democrat. It's about speaking for those who don't have a voice. It's about standing up for those who think hope is gone. It's about being there every day to make sure the working men and women of this community have a seat at the table when all the big boys say the door is closed. So I'm honored to carry the standard for the Burlington County Democratic Party. I'm honored to serve with great people. I'm honored to walk day in and day out with others who will be joining us. And our motto in our office and our team is can't stop, won't stop. And if anyone's ever heard me say it, you know why I say it. It's because we don't have an off switch. We have an on switch and a go faster switch. And for us, that simply means that we will not stop working to prove that we deserve to be representatives of the fine men and women of Burlington County. I will ask you to send us a team to Trenton in the 8th District. Send us a team to the Freeholder Board that's going to make real change. I ask you to send us a team in every hamlet, county building, council office, wherever you want to call it, send us a team that's going to go back and make sure the Democratic Party, the true and real Burlington County Democratic Party, returns on the stage with authority and represents the people of this great state like we know we can. Thank you all, and God bless you.